I was checking a regular signal, a standard situation. And quite unexpectedly, instead of a mere shell fragment, as I had initially thought, a rather distinctive cavalry bayonet, specifically designed for a Mauser rifle, surprisingly emerged from the ground. The vintage bayonet has classic dark bakelite grips. The blade is in decent condition. It was in a dry spot among the plantings. A nice little piece. I came out to a small town on the German front line. A dugout town. It's been hit, but I've already found a couple of dugouts. There are some that haven't been hit. With this one, they didn't even bother to cut out the roots, just dug around them. And literally right here, just behind the protective parapet, there's a German cavalry helmet lying around on the ground. Let's carefully examine it to see if it's truly German or not. It certainly looks like it is, judging by its distinctive shape and design. I'm not really hoping for it to be well preserved. Let's see what we've got. Winter is coming imminently, the pristine snow will fall, and we need to get ready in preparation for the cold winter. Find essential work for the winter, like these sturdy dugouts. Right now it's good. The summer was dry. The water has drained from the dugouts, and you can see which ones have been hit and which have not. Otherwise there would be a lot of water, and after 10 to 15 years, you would not even be able to tell which dugouts have been hit or not. Otherwise, in winter, you would have to clear away the snow, cut through, remove the ice, pump out the water, and then, only at the end of the day, after all that hard work, realize that it has already been hit. Now is the perfect time to walk around and look for new dugouts for myself. Let's see what we've got here. We can even see right now what model it is. This is a 40-watt bulb. It looks exactly like a 40-watt bulb. All right, let's lift it up. Yeah, it's a Sorokovka with a rim. Yeah, it was indeed under a helmet, but as is often the case, the metal rim is completely rusted away. Still, it's quite interesting, and it might even be rather fun to carefully clean it with acid. A little specimen. It's not too rusted through here. Looks like some kind of dent or something. The top cap. Yeah, the size is about 64 to 66 millimeters. Right next to a destroyed dugout. Here you can observe this rather small excavated dugout, which is certainly about a meter deep at the very least. And just 2 meters away there's another one. The camera doesn't really show it, you can't see it. You have to dig through at least a meter or more of soil here. My probe goes all the way in and hits the bottom. This is probably one of those, most likely this one right here. I'm going to start digging. It has a long entrance. About 3 meters. The entrance is long, but the trench is short. And it goes like this. The dugout is about 2 by 3 meters. That's what it'll be. let's get started. Yes, it happened. It's been a while. All right. Well, you know. All right. All right, comrades, I've already made some decent progress, more or less, in terms of the amount of work done. I've reached the bunks, and I'm starting to slowly clear a path. Unfortunately, there were some finds. Or rather, I should say, fortunately, there were finds, but unfortunately, they were in the upper part of the dugout, lying on the bunks, and they're pretty worn out finds. First, the first Mauser cleaning kit appeared. It was lying by the wall of the dugout on the bunks. Of course, it was dry in there, and here it is, in poor condition, but it's a complete set. It has the extractor, but it seems pretty corroded. I haven't taken it apart. Or maybe it's still solid, you can see it sticking out there. 2 brushes, the whole set, the chain. On the opposite bunks there was a second one, another kit, this one without the brushes. The extractor is in good shape, a bakelite oiler, and the chain. There was also a strap, an extra one, but of course being near the surface the leather is pretty flimsy. Right, okay. Sticking out from under the bunks, I have a pack of Mauser 98 cartridges. It's a large pack for 250 rounds from a crate. It's under the bunks. These are the bunks I'm working on now. Over there you can see the birch flooring, the poles in the middle, and I started clearing the entrance. At the entrance, on the top step, was a box for large caliber artillery shell casings. Well, it's worn out. It'll work as a donor. There was a bottle broken. The box, yeah, it's seen better days. Also on the bunks was this medical item, a little bottle with this kind of dropper neck for dripping out drops of a mixture. I think there's oil in it. I opened it. It's a thick liquid, but there's no smell at all. I tried pouring it out, and yeah, the liquid comes out thick. Okay, there was a second box for 75mm shells. I dug up similar ones in the last dugout. It was rigged up under a bench, I assume, by the entrance, near the stove. And it has a marking. A yellow circle, I suppose. The box itself is black. This is all in the upper part of the dugout. It's dry. It's only damp down there at the bottom. Right. Now I'm gonna start clearing. Here, near the shovel, there's also some sheet metal. Maybe it was some kind of box, I don't know. And in the passage itself, look, the top part of a German helmet. It's actually quite sturdy and well made. I looked in here. There's a supportive band. And it seems like there's a soft liner too, but I doubt it's intact. Yes, it's in there. Some leather. I don't know. What else is from it? I'm afraid, honestly, I'm really quite afraid to assume anything at all. And what's more, it actually looks very much like it, doesn't it? I'm afraid to say it out loud, I won't. Let's dig. It's already damp here. I can see it's not very rusty. There was also a small empty space inside it. I managed to notice. Let me clear it now.
German pouch is lying here in good condition. So I won't rush. It's time to carefully clean everything up because finds are starting to appear at the bottom. And the finds are good ones. Nearby there's a German helmet, a pouch, and some kind of strange tin box. All of this is in the center of the dugout. There's a stove there, an entrance, and bunks. There's loot lying in the passageway. I'm trying to expand. Here it is, lying right here, this helmet. It's under the flooring, under the poles, going over here, under the poles. Here are the bunks. Under the bunks, there seems to be a second helmet. The lanyard goes here. First, second. This one is already under the bunks. This one is here, on the floor, but maybe part of the bunks just collapsed. Now, let us commence our truly exciting and engaging journey. We will undertake everything very carefully, little by little, ensuring thoroughness. We'll film it and show you. As long as it's preserved. That's what we really want. Not just to dig up some kind of junk. If you are genuinely interested in learning more, you can certainly check out my dedicated page for additional information and resources. Yeah, it's a German helmet. And look, there are also several useful and much needed cartridges scattered around here somewhere, perhaps hidden in plain sight, right next to the second helmet. I'm worried, of course, about the preservation of the coins. The one under the denarii, this one is still okay, but this one here, the edge on this side has rotted away. I've cleaned it up a bit. Now I'll take a few photos and then I'll lift it out. Under this helmet, to everyone's surprise, there was actually a small, empty, discarded aluminum drink can. An aluminum one, from a powerful military-grade flare gun cartridge. It is currently lying directly next to the small, worn, and somewhat tattered pouch. The second coin. A shot glass. So what exactly do I really have here? That's right. Aha, clay. And here it's empty, no cartridges, but the leather is preserved. All right? Excellent. Easy, easy. Let's put it down. Okay. What? Yeah, that is absolutely and unequivocally correct. Here, damn. That's why the skirt is gone. The wood was lying on the metal. This kind of crap happens, yeah. And that's how we found bayonets too. If wood in a dugout touches metal, that's it. It rots right there. Same thing here. It was lying on the skirt. The old skirt had rotted completely through in 2 or 3 distinct places right under this wooden pole. All right. Oh, but otherwise they're gorgeous, sturdy. If it weren't for that piece of wood. Holy moly, huh? So what do we have here? I don't see anything yet. Looks like it's a Model 40. There's a very secure chin strap firmly positioned under the helmet. A small cartridge in the protective helmet. It's rotted here. It's rotted here too. Rotted underneath. under the helmet. It happens. Some sticky gunk, residue. Yeah, here's the chin strap. Alright, there was something else in it here. Some kind of metal thing stuck to it. Is it a spoon or something? I can't tell. No. It's just some old, rusty, and completely worthless iron junk that has somehow become firmly stuck onto the surface, making it quite difficult to remove without significant effort. It's made kind of like a curved hook in shape. So here it is. I've carefully washed all the various items I recently dug up. There was also a substantial pack of ammunition cartridges discovered at the very bottom of the dugout, lying directly next to the second rusty helmet. There are marks from the decal on the first helmet, but I don't know, maybe it peeled off or was repainted or something. There's practically no dugout scale on it. Literally just here, I don't know, one stripe and a little bit more in some other spots. Well, here it is. We'll discuss all this later. That's the downside. All right. I dug it out. It's covered in clay. More than half of it is covered in clay. Here it is. It was in the ground here. Now. We're lifting the second helmet now. Right under the bunks. Here are the bunks. It shifted its position slightly. All right, indeed. All right, very well. All right. The little shovel helps. Don't forget to visit the online store WXP.ru for equipment. What, did the clay suck me in? Or check out Victor Smolensk's page on Vkontakte. And where exactly is that particular place then? And there, on this very deck, I clearly and indeed see the majestic eagle's gleaming precious gold. Sweetness is visible. The bottom is completely lined with many dismantled, severely broken boxes of German artillery shells. Pens. There's practically no scale even in the branding room. In its beautiful, original and natural color, this is how it truly appears.
It looks like they touched up the paint, as the deck on the left side is apparently dirty. It was repainted. I'll wash this side now. Beautiful helmet. Oak. Yes, it is painted, yes. I see paint streaks. Here you can see the streaks from the brush. The helmet was updated. I'll wash everything now. Let's see if they are signed or not. I'll show you later. Something like that. I just reached the floor finally. Now, I am here. In the warm and bright summer season, during the process of repainting, you can clearly see visible brush marks created from a brush are present. Medium in terms of size. The dugout scale, which is a measurement feature, runs carefully along the entire length of the helmet skirt, located just inside the soft, reddish-brown clay. Washable and visible paint is present. It may be signed, it may not. Here below, as a rule. Who knows, it's not visible.
The skin is like brand new, soft and supple to the touch. I have made another interesting find right at the entrance. It appears to be bakelite, which is an early form of plastic. A glass on a flask. At the very bottom of the dugout, just at the base, Nacolite glass. Looks like it's all intact. We'll wash it and take a look. Unfortunately, there's a crack on the cup. It's a small one, but it's there. Otherwise, it was truly whole. In fact, it was a cup that served as a canteen. There was a stove here. Near the stove, on legs, I said at the very beginning, a box was placed on legs. It was something like a stool or a table. A second bakelite cup. Here's the bakelite cup. With water inside.
Upon looking inside the space, it was absolutely empty, completely devoid of anything. Washed it. No cracks. Got lucky, and it is. Signed by the owner. 2 letters, F. One smaller in size. The other one is bigger, on top, smaller below. I think you can see the highlights. The second cup with, well, even oh damn. These incredibly small and fragile wooden pieces here are truly weak, causing the entire structure of the boxes to constantly fall apart and disintegrate. Well, what kind of dugout is this? Helmets metal, they last, but the wood is weak. If you twist it just a little, it easily shatters. It falls apart. Time takes its toll. Sometimes you dig up a completely damp dugout and the metal inside is all crumbled to dust, but the wood is strong. And sometimes, like here, the dugout is dry, you hit it, and as you saw in previous videos, the bipods in a dry dugout are perfect. A German folding shovel. The metal is in perfect condition. Here the metal fittings are in excellent shape. But the wood is weak. Now it's different every time. You never know where something might be preserved. I'm moving toward the corner where the stove is by the entrance, and I'm carefully lifting the lids off the boxes, because if you walk on them, they'll just fall apart completely, so I'm slowly lifting them. Here's one, for example, that's more or less intact. It could work as an exhibit too. So I lifted it, set it aside, started clearing things out, and I see a strap. It turns out it's a canteen lid with a little strap. That's it, comrades. I've finished digging out this dugout. I got to the far corners, delving deep into every hidden crevice, went through the old, dusty floorboards, and as for the various finds, there was all sorts of interesting small stuff. A couple of worn straps, some additional unexpected gear popped up, and some other kind of strange little piece of leather. There was something on a paper base. Just these two little straps like this. That's how they were positioned. This strap was somehow on the side, and there was some kind of cardboard or paper, hard to tell, half decayed. What could this be from? The leather is brown. So let's do a really quick and comprehensive overview of this impressive dugout. A metal hook for a canteen. There was also a German canned food found there. A tube. A toothbrush. It was also found on the floor, without bristles. A broken pencil sharpener was discovered. The actual pencil itself was also found underneath the floorboards, and it was sharpened precisely like this. Sharp. So what else did we have there? A broken butter knife was found on the floor. And here he also has 1,200. Some kind of stamp on the handle. So literature. There was a book. Such a fragile thing. What's next? Next. Cartridges, cartridges, cartridges. 2. Oh, those. What are they called again? Why did it slip my mind? In short, for cleaning the carbine. 2 sets. There were 2 cases, but those were lying on the bunks. They were apparently placed by the wall by the Germans. Naturally, they disappeared. 1 Bakelite oil can. 2 cups. One unfortunately had a small visible crack in its surface. The other one, which we carefully checked, was found to be completely intact. And there was an initial, a letter, on that key. I assumed it was a signature. A kind of MGS type. Yes, that's what I thought at first, not really knowing. I thought I had seen it somewhere before. Since they had artillery here, it's possible that this key was used to adjust detonators, to insert shells into the warhead. There's a special mode there, so here I might be mistaken. These are just my guesses. There are markings on it, a small eagle here, numbers. What is this key for? If you know, please correct me. I'd appreciate it. Let us know. It's interesting and powerful. We'll keep it. The cap from a canteen. We'll keep this too. Alright. The bottles are insignificant, nothing interesting. 2 of these drinks, 2 shot glasses. Had a little drink. A bunker candle. Alright, little pouches. On the pouches, 2 little ships, white and red, from a board game. The Germans had these kinds of Little toys, little ships or submarines. Two empty leather pouches, no cartridges inside. In preserved condition. In very nice condition. So, there's a marking on this one too. What year is that? 30, 39? It's unclear. Maybe 39. Second surprise. When I was washing it, I saw it. Nice. Personally, it's the first time I've come across a pouch like this. It's signed. The distinct marking is distinctly oval, or it could even be perfectly round. But it's unreadable. Here's the signature. How he scratched it here, burned it in somehow. Maybe that's why it didn't rub off, if it was done with a pencil. If it was a pencil, what name did he write? I'm posting it from different angles so you can see the different letters. A signed pouch. What else do we have next? There's also a cover for a folding German shovel, also preserved as a set. Now, the highlights of the program this time are two helmets. I kept mentioning while rewatching the video during a break that they were Model 42, but honestly, I don't know. I must have gotten confused. These are M40S, the 40's Kosoni. This one is missing some parts. The first one that was lying here. Unfortunately, it would have been in good condition. But, as I mentioned back then, there was a pole lying right across it. It fell from the sleeping shelf and rotted in that spot. So everything is soft there. It rotted because of the wood. No decals. A size 64 helmet. Here's exactly where the original decal was. It most likely faded completely away over time. The second truly remarkable helmet. I think it indeed made all of us incredibly happy and content. The decoration is intact. It has a frontline summer repaint. You can see brush marks. It was touched up a bit. On this side, the paint slightly covered the decal. The brush marks are quite nice. The camera doesn't quite capture what I see, but these are the kinds of streaks it has. It's a nice one, almost like a raptor pattern. It still has the liner inside. There's some bunker grime along the skirt. It's pretty light, but heavy and sturdy. And there was also a medical bottle. It was found. That seems to be all about this bunker. The floor of the bunker was covered with poles. And on top of the poles, lids were carefully laid out. The 75mm shell boxes were disassembled, most likely burned completely, and the lids were then laid face down upon the poles. I picked up a few of them here. These are quite decent enough lids, so I will take them for some kind of display, and if any of my friends happen to need them, they can certainly take them too. It's a nice bunker, not a common one, but there's another one literally 3 meters away. There it is, and soon we'll be hitting it.